Okay. I am live. All right. Hi, friends. This is Raquel with Paints and Glitter, and I appreciate anyone who stops by to say hello today. I just wanted to make sure that I was in frame and all that good stuff there as I go live today. All right. And I think I'm in business. So if you're rewatching, then you'll see why I had a delay. I just wanted to make sure that I could see the video in good order and all that good stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna wait for people to come in as typically happens, where sometimes people join me, sometimes not. But I'm going to be using today the Garden Greetings die set from Tonic Studios. I'm going to share what's included, and this was released by Tonic Studios at least a month ago, maybe two. I can't recall now. But it's one of the smaller die sets. However, it's jam-packed. As you can see, this entire surface area there is covered with different dies. It comes with a base, it comes with layers, it comes with a sentiment that says from my garden to yours. It has little butterflies, a cloud, watering can, a wheelbarrow, leaves, flowers, birdhouse, a toadstool, a little pot, you name it, it's in here. So I've cut out several pieces, and I'm going to start with this little house here. I think I might include it, but it's like a little garden shed. So I'm going to use some, let's see here. I've got some markers, alcohol markers, and I'm going to darken the color of this paper. Hello, Tanya. Welcome, darling. I'm just going to color here the base, and I want to make it look almost as if it were wood planks. So with the same tip of that marker, I'm just going to create stripes here. And of course, I didn't color it all the way up, but that won't matter because a lot of that's going to be covered with the second layer. And then I'm going to just complete it there on the edges. And you can of course do this with any coloring medium that you prefer. I just happen to have these color markers, and I thought it would play well with this project today. Then the layer that's going to go right on top, I'm going to use this color here. The first one was E35. This is E31. But again, you use whatever colors you like. This is just going to be very light. I don't want it to be too dark because I'm not using dark colors today. In fact, I was thinking of making this kind of shabby, but I don't know if I'll have time for it. It's going to depend on how much time I have to craft today, because I do have to leave to go to an appointment. But in any case, that was E35, E31. Not a big amount of difference, but it does allow it to have a bit of a shadow there. So I'm going to use my Nuvo glue here. And the great thing about this adhesive is you don't need to use a lot to get it to work. You get a really nice bond. And I'm using 110-pound cardstock for everything today, with the exception of some designer papers. And I'll show you what those are while this is drying. So the other cool thing about this is it will dry clear. So if I don't make it perfect the first go around, it's okay. But there's the little shed. And it's my first time using this set, even though I've had it for a little while now. While that's drying, I'm going to show you the paper. This paper is so beautiful. So it's from Park Lane, and it's called Floral Wonder, and I thought it would be perfect for summer projects or anything garden related, because it's got so many beautiful papers in it. So I'll give you a little sneak peek there. It's got this maze pattern, this pink script one, and this gorgeous green. Let's see if you can see that. Okay, this floral one with a little polka dots in gold. There's a striped one, this almost like, it almost looks like little mounds of dirt there. Oopsie. But so on and so forth. It's got a lot of pretty papers. This one's another gold one. Hello. Yes, darling. I hope you've been doing well. I've had to take a little sabbatical for health reasons, and I'm back just doing a really quick little tutorial here. So, of course, I got this because of the bee paper. And there's just so much here to make cards or make a mini album. Lots of pretty papers in here. So I recently hauled that, and as you can see, I've already used it, but it also comes with little sentiments there. So I believe this was from, where did I get this? Joann. So I got that at Joann's. And moving along, that should definitely be dry by now. I have cut out some 110-pound cardstock here in a square shape. And this is 6 3/8 inch square. I've scored it at 4 sides at 3 1/4 inches, as you can see there, all 4 sides. And then I cut away the little corners there so that I could fold this because I am creating a box. I'm going to line the inside of it. So I'm going to take one of those papers that I mentioned. And if I'm moving a little bit faster than usual, it's only because I only have a limited amount of time that I can be here today. So this is cut at 4 3/4 inches square to line the inside. I like to leave a tiny little border, not too much. And now I'm just going to apply adhesive on the little tabs because I've already pre-scored this. And then we can close the bottom of this box. Just line it up exactly to where you have scored the paper. And sometimes if your paper, if you see that it's poking out a little bit, you can definitely cut away a tiny bit of that. It depends on, of course, your taste, but I may as well since I'm looking at it. But just to create that little tab so that it's not sticking out. Some people are comfortable doing that and some people are not, but I don't think it's of great consequence, right? So back at it, I'm just going to hold this, and you can tell, I mean, I applied the glue on all 4 tabs, but this glue is so great that just a gentle little squeezer is usually enough to get it to have that nice tack. And of course, if you're working with white cardstock, it's generally preferred that you make sure your fingers are nice and clean. But if you get a little bit of glue and you have oils on your hands, as it happens to me sometimes, I always use a rubber eraser when I'm all done, and I clean away anything that doesn't look cute. And that's because glue will oxidize, of course. All right, so there's the bottom of my box. I've cut these little strips, and they're just large enough to fit on the inside. I want to line the inside of this box just for presentation to make it really pretty. And to hide the little tabs that I was just talking about. So I've been I took a sabbatical. I've been taking care of my health, trying to get myself back in order. Hola, chiquita. How are you, darling? So that's why I've not been making videos, even though I've been crafting a tiny little bit, just not as much as I normally would, which is hard. It's so hard not to. But at the same time, I've been enjoying time with my family, so that's always a plus. Friends and family, you know. Okay, so this is going to house, if you're wondering why I'm making a box, because the theme is garden greetings, it's going to house some lavender from my garden. That's what I'm going to put in here, which I should have cut and had ready for the video, but As always, I didn't even think to do that before I came down here. So that's the bottom of the box. We're going to move on to the top. And as you can tell, I've cut everything out. Try to be ready ahead of time. And this piece here measures, let's see here, 6.5 inches square. And you're going to do the same thing, score it on all 4 sides at 3.25 inches, because that'll be deep enough to put a good amount of dry lavender in there. And it's of course going to be the lid for this box. So I cut the same papers, the designer paper. It's got that leaf pattern, and I love leaves. So hi Beverly, thank you for being here. I hope you've been well. And of course, these, I wanted to mention, these were limited edition Tonic Studios dies. However, they have plenty of garden-themed dies, I feel. They've got a good variety, I would say. Now, the same way I mentioned cutting the little tabs, I'm going to do that again, just to make life a little easier. But as I said before, if you leave it straight, that's up to you. And before I fold this one, I'm going to add strips on the outside, because I'm not decorating the inside of this one, only the outside. And of course, if I change my mind, you know, I can do it later. But just to keep it moving, these are cut slightly shorter than that tab there. And as I mentioned, it's 3/4 inch tall there, the side of that box. So you can, you know, subtract a 1/16 inch or an 1/8 inch or whatever makes you happy. Oh, buen provecho. Bon appetit, Beverly. I hope you're having a good lunch. I told my son today, I was like, I'm having a strawberry sandwich, and he goes, I don't think so. I just was being lazy. I had strawberries in my kitchen, and I added them to a piece of toast with cream cheese and called it lunch. Some days I just don't feel like eating at all, so it's like, okay. All right, so now I'm going to flip this over, and the same way I did the bottom, I'm going to do the top. Just add my little tabs, and then we'll get gluing the little layers that I've already colored so that you guys can see how adorable this set is. I'm really happy with it. I think it's going to be very user-friendly for any gift giving. And by the way, I want to announce, while I have you ladies here, I was asked to do a Spanish language video tutorial for mini albums with Tonic Studios dies. I was not asked by Tonic Studios, I wish. I was asked by one of my viewers, who I don't even know if she's a regular viewer or not, but it doesn't really matter. But if you guys know of anyone who would prefer to watch a video in Spanish, or maybe is a new crafter, doesn't speak a whole lot of English, then please share my channel link, because once that's up, then I'm hoping that it's of use to some viewers. I realize that not everyone speaks English, obviously. I was not born, you know, with, that wasn't my native language, I should say. Of course, I wasn't born speaking at all, but I just want to have the video be useful, because there's a lot of work that goes into tutorials, as you ladies already know. But okay, there's the top, nice and sturdy. And now I'm going to show you the layers. They're so cute. There's a lot of teeny tiny details to this, but here's going to be the layer that I place on the bottom here. And this one's got this gorgeous little scroll work. Maybe you can see it better this way. on the edges. So if you just want to use that one on its own or use it as a frame, you can, because the die set comes with a matching circle that it will cut the inner portion out. So if you just want the border, you can do that. If you want it solid like that, you can leave it as such. What I did is I cut it out of this green ombre paper because it reminded me of watercolor, and it came from the same paper stack that I shared earlier. And of course, it saves me from having to paint a background. Super easy, right? Kind of cheating, but you use what you have. And then, because the theme is lavender, I'm gonna move this out of the way. Because the theme is lavender, then I cut the background in a very, very light lavender color. And in fact, this is, let's see here. This is also from, so this is from the Paper Studio, and this paper is beautiful. I showed it before, and it comes with a stack of all different colors, perfect for summer crafts. And I picked that up at Hobby Lobby as well. But if you don't have that, Tonic Studios sells a version of this as well, because it has that linen weave, and it's really, really beautiful paper. I just used that because it was nearby. Oh, Chiquita, you know what? The liberty of having your own channel is you do what you want. I try to share, you know, of course, things that are useful to people, but in all honesty, I mean, you cannot expect everyone to be an English speaker. I mean, I actually think it's ludicrous. And I watch other people's channels for content where I don't understand the language that they're speaking, whether it be French, Dutch, German. I mean, I don't really care. So long as I like the content, the language is secondary to me. I don't know. Some people just want it to be very easy, but I think if you're familiar with the subject matter, if it's crafting, I think the language isn't necessarily the most important part of it. But that's just my personal opinion, and you know, as I always say, they're like belly buttons. Everyone's got one. Now, just to show you here what I've done, I did color this piece here, which I had cut all in one color, which was white. And I just took my alcohol markers and colored that in, and other markers, and just did a little zhuzhing there, you know. But that made it super easy because it's already got the foundation of those little plants and then the picket fence. And then behind there, I want to tuck this little house, I think. I'm debating on it, honestly, but I think it'll look cute because I also want to use the little birdhouse. But I think I'm going to do it like so. So as you can tell, you don't have to glue all of it. So to give it a little dimension, you can leave it like that. And I'm going to go ahead and apply this right under there. You do it in the order in which, you know, you're comfortable. Okay, so that's gonna go right there. Super sweet as it is. Like, you wouldn't have to add anything more, and that's already adorable in my opinion. So then next I'm going to, oh, you have it as well. Wonderful. Yes, Beverly. You know what? I'm not gonna ever judge because I have a stack myself of things that need to get used in this room. So yeah, you do it at your own pace. I'm gonna add the little birdhouse here, which is so cute. Okay. And the little birdhouse comes with the, help me out ladies, is it, well, the little roof piece here. I cut it out in holographic paper. And let's see here. I'm gonna get my tweezers because I think it's calling for, yep, here they are. Sometimes you just need to use the tiniest bit of glue or the tiniest grasp there. Oh, it's so cute. So that's going to add the shine. It also has the little bottom piece there. I'm keeping it rather simple, so I'm just going to add the holographic paper there. And of course, this allows you to personalize this as much as possible. There's a little watering can, super cute. That's also, I cut it out in holographic paper. But Beverly, I'll tell you now that cutting out the pieces is going to take you longer than anything else. As it happens sometimes, right? So I'm going to put that little guy right there. And I have a little cloud, which I did add the tiniest bit of light blue there. I think I'm going to place that back here just to give a little background to the flowers. So, and of course you can add, it doesn't have to be white, you can add the cloud in whatever color you please. Okay, but I thought that would be kind of cute peeking out of there. And I also cut out the little flower pot, and what I did is that I colored it in. Now this comes with, let me show you the die. Yeah, that little birdhouse is what sold me on that whole thing. I was like, yes! Because actually, initially, I thought this could be used as a bee house. The little, the bee boxes. Because my husband's a beekeeper, so we have boxes of bees. But we don't actually own one in that shape, even though they are created in that shape sometimes. I just realized my background paper is a little askew. Oh well. But I think you can interpret that to be whatever you want, depending on how you cut it out. But back to this. I wanted to show you. This tiny little die has 3 little hearts and 2 little lines there. So what I did is that I used some pens to color that in. This is watercolor paper, so it did kind of spread out a little bit, but I actually like that because it does look like a little pot that would be out in the rain, maybe, you know, worn out through time. And then I just drew in the little lines to make it look like wood. Chiquita would have a link, only I don't believe this is available. I think that this was only available for a limited time, if I'm not I'm almost positive. But any Tonic Studios links from my channel are already in the description bar. So if you scroll up and click on the little arrow of this video on the upper right hand side, you're going to see all of my links for Tonic Studios. Now this little sprig here is cut out with this die, and they're so tiny, guys. Here we go. Let me show you the teeny tiny ones, because you're going to be amazed at how many there are. There's those. So that way you can make it with whatever plant you prefer. Okay, so there's those 4. And then there's also these tiny little flowers if you want to cut those out. And as I mentioned before, the little mushroom, the wheelbarrow, just so many adorable little pieces there. So I did cut a few of these out because I want it to look as if it's a little bunch of herbs is the look that I was going for. So that's going to go right behind this little pot. So I'm just going to apply the glue back here, make life easier for me. And then I'm going to grab each one of these little herbs. And this one looked like lavender to me, so I thought that was perfect. And I colored these just in different colors to match what I had already added to the border here. So again, this would look really cute with dimensionals also. And I'm going to leave the other 3 out of this because I'm just going to put this kind of over here in the corner. And I might need a little more glue, I think, just because that's dimensional. And I'm thinking I should have put the watering can on the other side, but that's okay. Now I have 3 more little plants here, and to kind of even this out, I'm going to place them near the watering can. And to add shine, I think I might add some Nuvo drops, because if not, it'll look a bit monochromatic, and they kind of get lost in here because they're so tiny. But I kind of have to do a dry run first and then add the glue. But what I did here is that I cut them out and then I only colored the little tips. So I'll show you guys a close-up in a minute. There we go. And then the little birdhouse, before I forget, does have the little cutout here of the little heart. So it's up to you whether to add it back or not. I thought it'd be cute to color it and then just add it there to give that another little pop of red, because there's so much green on here. Super duper cute. And there's my little garden complete. I think it's so stinking adorable. So now I'm just going to top it off with little gems, the way that I like to do, which is to add a little shine here and there. And I just got to thinking that I have diamond dots. I almost forgot about that. So let's take a look here. I've got some yellow ones. That's too bright. I've got these and my favorite, kind of like holographic looking ones. So thank you so much. And I'm so sorry, Chiquita. I wish it was still available, but I don't want to make any promises because I'm almost positive that it was a limited time type of die set, which Tonic Studios does that a lot. But don't be surprised if at some point they release it, for instance, when they open the vault or something like that. And if you're not familiar with that, at least twice a year, if not once, Tonic Studios does a big sale where they add to the page older sets that you may have missed out on. So please do subscribe. Be sure to use my link, go to the page and subscribe, and then they will notify you. You can also follow them, of course, on Facebook, and that's one of the better ways to find what's going on. But they do announce the vault sale, so if there's anything you've missed out on, that's a great way to kind of catch up on older sets. They do go fast, however, so just to let you know, it's kind of a rat race. Now what I'm doing here is my very detailed edition here of the diamond dots. This is just something that I enjoy doing because it adds a tiny bit of shine and glimmer. And I finished earlier than I thought I would. So this is very subtle because of the colors that I picked, but you can imagine that you can do this in any color that you like, of course. I'm just going to continue on here and add them all the way up around. But you make things as elaborate or as simple as you like. Okay. And then what I'd like to do is on here maybe, let me see. Maybe on the little birdhouse, add some, because this looks like a little rope almost, you can pretend that this is like on a balcony. and make that super cute. Yes, we all have a collection, right?
Hello, hello.
And my husband's here. Hello, hello.
Are you live?
I'm doing a live video, yes.
Awesome.
Do you want to bring me some lavender?
Yes.
Thank you. So I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of lavender. I'm hoping not to make too much of a mess. But my husband's here, so he can bring me some. So that way you guys can see. And I know that this could be much more rustic looking, but I tend to make things more delicate looking. So I like the little bit of shine and all that stuff. And I think it's super cute. But this would be wonderful also for, thank you so much. It'd be wonderful also, I'm thinking even for like a baby announcement, and I don't know why I'm getting that kind of, I don't know, idea, but I think that would be really sweet. I also think on the wood planks of the picket fence, it'd be cute to add like little nails, you know, or something to resemble that, whether it be with Nouveau drops or anything else, if you're going for a more rustic look. But I think the recipient will enjoy this. I'm going to, I said I might shabby this, so let me think here. I was thinking of adding a little pink. No, I think I'm gonna add this pearlescent color. This is Nouveau Embellishment Mousse. And I think I'm just gonna add this on the edges. And I have this little brush. I wanna say, if you guys know Carolyn, Tea Time and Dolls, my enabler friend, she posted, I think it was on Instagram, that she had gotten these little brushes. And I ran over to Amazon and said, oh yes, baby, I need some of those. So they're meant for, I think, makeup application. But guys, let me tell you, they're so awesome for inking or, you know, adding any kind of mediums. Super cool. And I love embellishment mousse because it just gives that extra little touch. Thank you.
So it's still flowered.
Awesome.
Medium.
Yes, medium. Oh, okay.
And fully dried.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So I'm just going to show you guys a sample of that in a moment. Oh, it smells so amazing. And of course, I'm going to add more than 3 sprigs, in case you're wondering. But this adds just that hint of shine. It's like highlighting your cheeks after you do makeup. That little extra I don't know, that's the way I look at it. It's like, yes, honey, that looks so nice. Now this brush already had a little bit of pink Nouveau Glimmer paste, I think it was. And that doesn't bother me if things get mixed up like that. I just call it art, you know? It's mixed media, whatever. Who cares? Don't, you know, get hung up on that sort of thing. Sometimes you get the best little, you know, happy accidents, as Bob Ross used to say, with, when things get mixed up like that. Okay, so now this has this pearlescent sheen on the edges. Super, super cool. I'm gonna repeat that on the bottom, and it can be done on the inside. And you don't need a whole lot of this, but you do want to be mindful when you have this product that you want to cover it up as soon as you're done, because it does dry out rather quickly. And of course you can use it with a stencil if you want a thicker application. This is just very, very subtle and soft. And I'm so sorry if I was out of frame. Hello, Rocky. Yes. It's hard to believe, right? The weeks go by so quickly. Happy Friday Eve to you, my dear friend. So on here, the other cool thing about this kind of thing, right, is that it kind of elevates your project. If you're using plain cardstock like I am here, it goes from this boring white cardstock to something with a little more interest and texture, right? Because you add as little or as much as you like, and it's no longer going to be pure white because of the color that I'm using. But I wish I had, you know what? Yes, I do. I forgot. I have the lavender color, only that one is expanding mousse, so you're supposed to heat it up. But again, you don't have to, so I think I might finish it off with a little bit of that as well. Why not? So I'm still going around, and again, this is just simple application here. And I should have, let me tilt this up a little bit, guys. So I'm so sorry. I thought I was in frame all this time. Like so. Okay, so now I've got all the pearlescent color that I want. If you have the Glad, that sticky paper we use in the kitchen, press and seal, put some on your mousse. I keep forgetting to do that, but it will allow it to remain moist longer, and it'll lengthen, you know, the shelf life of that. I'm going to use a different one because in this case I don't want to add pearlescent color to the lavender, but I'm going to go in, just grab a tiny bit of this, and it has a weird jelly-like texture, but it applies so beautifully. So now I'm going to go in with this, and as you can see, this one's a little bit more matte. So I may as well color the bottom as well. And I might cover this with paper, but at least on the corners, I'm going to try to grab some of this lavender color and just play with it. And like I said, I wanted this to be a little bit shabby. You know, you can make it look like the outside of a watering can, if you guys are familiar with, you know, that kind of mottled metallic look. You can emulate that. It all depends on what you like. Whippy! Got stuck. Okay, so as you can tell, I'm kind of focusing more on the corners there, and I am doing that on purpose. And I know that this is going to be covered, but again, I think that element of kind of surprise when a person opens a box or a gift or whatever, I think it's well worth it. Okay. All right, so it's got a little bit of texture there. And as I said before, what I'll do is I'll add a piece of paper here to the bottom. It'll have my information or whatever, but at least it's got some of that mottled purple shiny effect there. And I can keep going, of course, you know. But the brushes that you use or the sponges that you use, of course, are going to give it a different texture. So that's, you know, whatever you like. All right, so there's that, and this is going to fit right on top. So I'm going to add a tiny little bit here just to the corners, kind of to give it a little bit of a hint of what's going to be inside. But I'll be more subtle with this one because I don't want it to be too dark. Press and seal from the Dollar Tree. You know what? You know who's going to know the answer to that one is going to be Louisa because she does the hauls. But you know, maybe Dollar General? That's a good question, because they have different brands. You know, the different dollar stores have different brands. But I think maybe there's so many uses for that product also. Okay, so I added a little bit more there on the corners. Just a tiny bit. Kind of what's left over on the brush. And I'm super, super happy with that. So, what I'm intending on doing, and of course I was not specific with my husband. I didn't tell him how much lavender to bring me. But, sorry guys, I was reading your comments, so I kind of lost my train of thought there for a second. What I can do now is I can start grabbing the lavender, and because it's still not completely dry, my husband got me 3 different ones here. There's one that's completely dry, and that's when it looks almost brownish, like that. And then there's one that's on its way there. That's got a little bit more of that lavender color. And then when it's really in fresh bloom, that's when you get that beautiful purple color there. Yes, I would appreciate a thumbs up, absolutely. But what I can do is I can start tying it and then go around and make a wreath to fit right in here. So that's exactly what I'll be doing. And what I can do is share pictures when I'm done, because otherwise I'd have to run outside right now, get more lavender, etc., etc. And as I mentioned before, I do have an appointment that I have to get to. But when you have the stems, if you've never worked with lavender, you can cut the stems as long as you like, because it does grow rather tall, and then you can manipulate it. I've done it in the past where I've shared little sachets that I made. So that video is on my playlist, and there's several different ways that you can do it. But even if you were to keep it inside of here and put the lid on top, the scent can go through. And of course, if you can imagine, hindsight is 20/20. Here's my tip, Beverly, if you have the set, right, and you want to do a sachet that's kind of, you know, enclosed like this, you can take, because this just came to mind, take this die and cut into that background. So I should probably do it. Cut into the background of the box before you start assembling everything, and then glue everything on top that I glued onto here. However, you know, leave yourself, instead of doing that purple piece of paper, leave yourself that opening, and you can put acetate or tulle. I would put tulle, so that way the scent comes through of the lavender that you put inside. Isn't that a great idea? Just came to mind. I wish I had thought of it sooner, and I would have totally done it that way. So I might make another one and do it just as I described, because I think that that would be wonderful. And then that way, you know, you can still decorate the outside or whatever on the edges, but you can seal it and send it off like that. And the person doesn't have to necessarily take it out or anything like that, because, isn't that awesome? Because then the gift is, you know, enclosed or encapsulated. Is that the word that I'm thinking of? Anyway, yeah, you know what? I can, not a problem. But I guess what I have to do now is, because I have to get ready to go, I'll end this video here, but I'll be more than happy to do another one with in the way that I just described, because I think that that's going to be a really, really wonderful presentation, and I have more than one to make anyway. But again, for those of you who were not here, the colors that I used for the mousse, well, I think all of you guys saw that, but in any case, it's Nouveau Mousse, and the 2 different colors are toasted almond, and this one happens to be the expanding mousse, but you don't have to heat it up. This is misted mauve, and the die set is the Garden Greetings die set, and like I said before, this was a limited edition version, but I also use little diamond dots. The shades are 5011 and 8321, if that interests you at all. I use alcohol markers to color everything before I went live, and then it was just a matter of layering. And then as far as the cardstock, it was from Park Lane. I picked it up at Joann's, and it's called Floral Wonders. And the other one is from Paper Studio, and that was the that light lavender color that you see there. But this was a lot of fun, guys. Thank you so much. I know it's kind of a quick and short video. I hope this is in frame. But I do thank you guys for having been here with me today. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. And as I always say, I hope that you can be inspired and be blessed. And I thank you so much for watching. Please give a thumbs up. You guys have a wonderful afternoon. Here comes the reaching part. Bye-bye.